All right, this is Three Village Google Apps for Education, Stony Brook cohort number 2 for this evening, November 17th. I'm here with some students who are taking Google Apps. Um, so what we're going to do tonight, guys, is some information has come about that I wanted everybody to be aware of. We're not going to have a class next week because of the holiday break.
Mhm. What did I do?
He froze again.
Yeah.
Um, Everybody has been completing their modules. I've seen that. Um, while I would love to have you take the test, you don't have to take that test. It's not a mandate. It's not a requirement. Um, I can tell you, an instructor, a friend of mine has taken it. He says it's not very hard. I think that Danielle took it and she passed it, and she didn't say it was that hard. So um, it's something that there are some requirements that I wanted to go over with you that we found out so that you can make an informed decision about whether you want to take it or not.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing is that you have to create an account at this website if you want to take it. I'm going to post that in the chat over on the right. Okay, so this is a third-party vendor that Google uses. It's called Criterion, and they're controlling the test. It is, uh, I guess they have a camera. You have to have a camera attached to the computer you take because they take a picture of you occasionally. They don't watch you the entire test, but they do take images of you to make sure that it's you taking the test from the beginning to the end. All right. The next thing that I'm going to send you is the place where you can set up the account for that test. All right, so that's the second one, and you can create your account, and that's where you can log in and create your account. Now, what happens is that, let's say you want to take the test on Monday of next week. You have to pre-register basically and set it up maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday because it could take anywhere from 1 hour to up to 48 hours to have it ready for you, and you will be notified by email that that is ready for you in that account. Then you have 7 days to actually take the exam. So if you are only going to have one day during that week, wait until you can actually do it that suits your schedule and time. Make sure you also choose Google Certified Educator Level 1 exam. It's $10 for that test. And then they have a retake policy, which I find humorous, actually, because you can take the test 3 times. You can register for a second time, but not until 14 days after the first event. You can also take it a third time, but not until after 60 days. And then after your third time, you can take it again, but you have to wait a whole year. So yeah, I find that kind of laughable. But and I thought it was a little strict too. You're trying to get educators to become. I just think that's a long time.
Mhm.
The other thing, so those are the things that they discovered when they were taking these exams. Okay, so I'm going to be taking it probably in the next week, so I can also give more insight. They also said that it was probably, what was it? I think it was 25 multiple choice questions. A lot of them are very similar to what was in the modules. And then you had some task questions. So those task questions made you had to do something with the Google tools and then show that you had knowledge of how to get it to do what you wanted it to do. Okay. Um, they didn't think it was overly hard. A lot of it is just testing your knowledge and memory, pretty much, and whether you can Google the right answer in some of those cases. Okay. He did say you can pause the exam, but you can't pause it indefinitely. Still only gives you 3 hours of time. He took it. It was about an hour and 10 minutes to take the exam. So, and then I forgot what Danielle said it was, maybe an hour and a half. But it's nice to know that you have 3 hours if you need it. But I don't think any of us will have to have that 3 hours or require the 3 hours. Okay. Any questions about that part?
No.
All right.
Can I ask a quick question, Bill?
Sure.
Is there a certain time frame that we have to take the test by after completing the first part of the course?
No.
Okay.
No. You could, if you wanted to wait until Christmas break, do it then. Just let us know if you pass. That's all. I mean, I would just like to know from my own personal knowledge that you passed the test. It's, like I said, it's not a requirement of this course that you pass it or take it, really.
Okay.
So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next thing, and I'm gonna share my screen for this one because it is open now on Blackboard. I just opened it a little bit ago, and this is the case study that you're going to have to make a choice. So, like the other group asked, when's the next course? The next course, I believe, is the week we come back from Christmas break. I believe. I have to get a hold of your teacher center rep and find out, what she's going to do, because I know Christmas is around the corner and everybody's going to be short of bucks.
Did we lose him again?
I think so. Yeah.
They're going to want them. Guys, still hear me?
Yeah, we lost you for a little bit.
Because I'm back. All right. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is directly from Google. This is their template. It's not one that I've made up. It's the one that they want you to follow. And if you choose to move through this and over the next 2 courses after this one, you are going to fill out the very first part of this by the end of the week. Okay?
If we go to the next class?
If you go to the next class. Now, you won't have to fill all of this out until the end of the 3rd class. All right? But for this class, you would choose this form or this form. Now, the difference is one's an integration project and one's the education trainer. What's the difference? Well, the education trainer is going to ask you to take 5 exams from the Google Trainer site, Drive, calendar sites, Google Play, and one other, and I forget what it is. So when you pass all those exams, you're going to fill out this because this has to be included with your application. Okay? If you don't take the exams on the third course, you're going to start working on this, which is very different than the education trainer path. So we're technically running two classes within a class
Hmm.
because not everybody wants to become a trainer. And that's okay. So you'll see here, you are going to fill in number one if you're going to take the Google Integration Project course, and you can read over 2 and 3 and 4, which I've opened in Blackboard. You'll notice that I had a skip in the numbering this week, and that's because I hid it from all of you until we had this discussion. Because I didn't want everybody to freak out and not know what the difference was between the two courses. Okay?
Hmm.
All right, so all I'm asking though is that you make a choice between Google Integration or the certified trainer. And you're only going to fill in the very top part, number one. I think I make that pretty clear in Blackboard, but if I don't, please, you know, please reach out to me and, ask me. Okay?
We just have to fill the first part of either.
Right. You're going to choose one. You're not doing both.
Right. And just
Okay?
number one.
Just number one.
Okay.
And nobody's judging anybody on which path you take. I mean, I've had groups where I've had 15 teachers and only 5 took the trainer program. So they're the only ones that went on, took the exams, and everybody else did the integration project. You're still learning Google. You're still technically a Google teacher. You just don't get a badge at the end. That's it. So, okay. Um, Now, after we come back from break, we're going to only have 2 weeks left, of the course. We'll probably do another on-air hangout for the last course on the 9th or the 10th of December. I'm not sure which one yet. It may be one or both of those dates. Now, I have to have some kind of a final assessment for all of us. So I know that a lot of us were doing, we had a lot of ideas with the Google Apps extensions or add-ons, and we were doing the SmackDown this week. And I know that many of us had more than one idea that they wanted to do. So what we thought was we would open that up and let you choose another, not the same one that you did in the SmackDown, but you would choose another and tell us how that would be integrated into your particular class or units of study that you're doing, something like that. So what you would do is you would create something. It could be a slideshow, a document, screencast. Doesn't matter to us how you show it, but you would share it in this venue on the night that you would go. Okay? So we would just, like if it was the 4 of us sitting here, I would go to Dennis first, and he would show us, and then I would go to Gina, and she would show us, and then I would go to Jennifer, and then, we'll tape it, and that's it. We're all done for our first course. Okay?
Hmm.
Can I ask a quick question, Bill?
Yeah.
Do we also have to have the electronic portfolio ready for this part of the course?
No. No. See, everything in this course is just getting you familiar with what tools you're going to use, and by the end, there's going to be more of a mastery of it. Okay? So, I don't know if you look back, I posted, one of my trainer websites, which is different than the one I use for my resume. the difference was my trainer website has much more detail, and it's all tools and resources that I would use if I went to professional training, and I was going to give a professional training. The resume that I created was just for Google. So there is a place when you do the application online for you to put your digital resume. Okay, so I will. Well, I don't think I'm teaching the next class to this group. I don't know yet. I know I have 3 other classes that I'm doing right now, starting in January. But I do know that whoever it is going to pick up from where you left off. They know you have all of this information. I speak to all the instructors all the time. We meet every weekend, so everybody knows where everybody is, and you've kept all this organized. You have it, and you're just going to keep building upon it and making it better. So I know it may look really rough right now, but you're going to have time to reflect, digest, and then re-implement, constitute, however you want that to look. Okay, um, you know, uh, there's many different of ability. Not the greatest tool in the world, but it does work well if you understand its limitations. A lot of people just like to complain that Weebly's better, and I could really disagree about that because I really can't stand Weebly. I think Sites is a little more powerful, um, especially from the announcement side and from the file cabinet side, which is a direct link to all of your information that you have in all forms. And it's easy to put it on there for kids. It's easy to communicate with parents through the announcements. It's I just think it's a better venue. So, but it takes a little while to understand that, and I think as all of you realized when you first started this class, where you really weren't so sure what it was going to look like. I think you've done a good job of understanding all the material and doing really well with it. All of you have. So I'm proud of all of you anyway,
Thanks.
because I know that all of you, when you left that first night, you were like, "What did we get ourselves into?" So I don't think you have that anymore. I think that through Blackboard you can really tell that most of you have a basic understanding of it, and I know most of you are Apple people, and that's okay. I don't fault you for that. Um, I used to be an Apple person too, um, until I started writing apps, and they're extremely um, very difficult to write apps for. So, and they control everything you do. So I don't like that. I like to have a little more flexibility. So I switched out, went to Droid. So anyway, let me just go down the list and answer any other questions you guys might have. It's pretty short tonight. So Jennifer, you have anything else for me?
Actually, I have 2 questions.
Sure.
If we went the certification route,
hmm
how long does the certification last for?
18 months. But
Okay.
you do have to do certain things over every 12 months.
Okay.
So what they want you to do is keep track of some trainings every quarter. Um, I'm guilty of not doing all of that.
Okay.
I do the trainings. I just don't do the reporting side of it.
You have to
Uh,
host trainings,
well, you don't really have to host them.
or you
Um,
get trained.
I train, like I'm training you right now.
Hmm.
This counts. I train fourth graders how to use Chrome. I train sixth graders how to use Chrome, and I train some staff development. But that's not as frequently as I'd like it to be in my district.
Hmm.
Um, but through all these trainings, I can document it. I have it documented. I have it in my plans, and I have it in, everything's time stamped in my drive. So I can always just build it. I don't report it to Google like I'm supposed to every quarter.
So every 18 months you have to retake the tests?
You have to retake the tests every 18 months.
And do you know a roundabout cost of the exams? Are they all cheap, like the $10 or
They're $15 a piece.
$15? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And you can buy a package. You can buy the $90 package for 6 of them, and then you don't have to buy each one individually. I buy each one individually.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Gina?
I'm just curious, between the two paths, I know you said the big difference is the badge. I mean, would I be putting myself at a disadvantage by doing one or the other at all?
Um, it, Listen, you have to figure, are you going to want that, um, do you want to become a trainer of others? Like, do you want to do that in district or for other districts, not, outside of school, inside of school? You have to kind of reflect and look at yourself and see if that's even a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I used to do that at my school, and then we've had so much turnover administratively. They don't like us doing it. They want outside people doing it. So this is my outside venue
Mm-hmm.
for me. But that's up to you. You have to really kind of choose, and I don't think there's an advantage or a disadvantage of one over the other.
And if I go the other route where I'm not training people and things of that nature, it's just something to put on my resume that I can use in my classroom and maybe offer professional development still. I could still do professional development within my district.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And there's nothing to say, Gina, that you can't go back and take those tests. I mean, you're going to have most of it completed. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So you just go back, you fill in the application, you take the exams, and you apply.
Okay.
And you may want to do that later, when maybe you have more time, or things are less hectic. I mean, that's why you have to make that choice.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, good. Dennis?
Well, I was just looking at that template that you put up, and I'm going to share it.
Yeah.
I got a question about that. Is it showing? Because it doesn't show up on mine.
Yeah, I have it.
Where it says basis of engagement with you, what does that mean?
Basis of engagement with you. All right, so what they're asking for is what organization, like how do you engage with others? In other words, are you engaging, like for me, I'm doing online training through Stony Brook University.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's how they are engaging with me, or I'm engaging with you, vice versa. We're doing it online. So your basis of engagement could be online, it could be face-to-face, it could be professional development, meetings. I think they want to know how you are going to deliver the content. Okay?
So that whole
That's
first
how I,
one,
that's how I take it anyway.
the whole first section where it says school overview, I'm not putting my school in there. Am I putting Stony Brook because that's where I'm being trained, or
No, you're going to put your school.
Okay,
This is your population, your school population.
okay,
And Google's really very liberal in what it allows in terms of the content that you provide to them.
mm-hmm.
So, this is your first go round. You are only going to have your own school as a basis for training, and they hope that if you get the trainer that you're going to want to expand that. And you could do that online. You could do it through Hangouts. You could do it through another university. You could do it through your school's, what's it called? Adult education. I know most schools offer that.
Yeah.
So there's other opportunities than just face to face in your own building.
Right.
But for now, that's probably where you're going to deliver most of that content.
Yeah.
And it might just only be on your grade level. It might only be in your department, but that still counts. Okay? So it's like I said, between now and the end of May or June, you're going to have a lot more information to be able to provide in those areas. We just want you to start number one. Doesn't have to be 100% complete.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it may change. They could change the template on us, and we don't, we wouldn't know.
Right.
So, okay?
Yep.
All right. So we'll probably do like I said, the end of the course on that 9th or 10th. It'll be a hangout like this, and everybody's good with that versus the face-to-face.
Mhm.
It's good that we're going to tape it in case Teacher Center wants to see it. They'll know that you were there. Let everybody, that wasn't here tonight know that this is online in the Blackboard. I'll post this, and that's what we're all going to do, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to stop the broadcast.